What up, world? This is a Big Facts Show. It's Mark Ward. I'm in here with St. Laz, and we got a special guest today, Bennie Hurst, who is kind enough to join us to talk to us about music licensing and walk us through some of the steps people need to do to get their music placed in video games, movies. You know, the next frontier of where a musician can make money off the music. Uh,
Absolutely.
I remember my man Laz showed me something the other day. Stop trying to sell your music to people who can get it for free. It's this content. It's these content that's purchasing it. So Mr. Hurst has been kind enough to join us, man. Thanks for joining us, man.
And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
So your beginning was you tried to run a label and it didn't work out with younger artists, and take it from there.
Yeah, man. So, when I really got my foot into the game, I really wanted to have my own record label. And I had one, you know what I'm saying, where, all my paperwork was done, all that stuff. So on paper, I had a record label, funding artists, production wise, trying to get them into certain situations. And due to some business and personal issues, things just were not working out between me and the artist. So I kind of got discouraged because I had spent all this money, had all this equipment, and I was getting ready to sell everything. And my wife was like, "Nah, don't do that just yet." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Man, let me take a step back then." So I kind of took a step back, and
Shout out wifey.
yeah, wifey, she's a jewel for real. So as time went on, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was sitting up watching TV, bored as hell, and flipping through. I like to call them the ratchet television shows. I'm watching like Housewives of Atlanta or Black Ink Crew or something crazy was online, right?
The
And
traffic accident shit you can't turn away once that remote hit them.
yeah, what I'm saying. So and I'm listening to, and instead of just watching the show, I'm now really listening. And for a 30-minute, hour-long show, there's nothing but beats being played throughout the entire show.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing but beats. And I was like, this sounds like my shit. This sounds like the type of shit I do, right?
You had this
So,
emoji going on.
yeah, that was like, somebody getting a check. Somebody
Word.
getting a check. So after that, I reached out to Google. I went on Google and started, tapping away, looking for how to get your music into television shows, and I came across a program. It was like $140,
A computer
where
program?
no, not a computer program. It was a learning program where someone was selling a course,
Okay.
and they sold a course, and inside that course they broke down music licensing A to Z, the terminology, all these type of things, right? And inside of it came a directory with tons of music licensing agencies, music libraries, music publishers, um, music supervisors, all these companies, right? And I got on. I'm thinking my music tight, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cold calling, and typing in, "Hey, my name is Bennie Hurst. I'm a music producer out of Alabama. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'd like to know if you guys accept submissions for your company." Got a lot of turn downs, but then a few people started hitting me back. "Hey, send me some stuff. Hey, this stuff is dope. Do you got any more?" I'm like, "Shoot, I got a whole hard drive full of stuff."
Right.
That's kind of where it started. And then in about 4 months, I got my first placement on TV.
Persistence overcomes resistance every time.
Yeah. But it was a learning process, and the more I learned, I was able to structure things better and really get an idea of how to make music that works for television.
What was the mechanics of the first sale? Like, did the so one of these agencies you contact shopped your song to a television show and they agreed to buy it? Did you register it in a pool and a television pool show selected it?
Basically, that's the way it is, right? So you kind of hit the nail on the head. So what typically happens, the way most people first get started, like I did, I submitted my music to a company that runs they're a placement company, but they have their own music library.
And I
So
assume you have to pay for this service.
no, I did not. It was
No,
free.
okay.
You know, and I'm sure people, if you've heard about music licensing, there's companies like Taxi and all these other companies that you have to pay for to submit and get into their ecosystem of the way they do things. I never went that route.
I used Taxi, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but I used Taxi for a couple of years and I didn't get anything out of it. And you know, you got to keep paying to submit songs 100 times, and it's like, I don't know, but it didn't work out.
Did you even break it? Did you break even?
Say that again now.
No, I'm asking Laz on Taxi. Did you even break even?
Not at all.
No, most people don't.
Damn.
And so my first cues went to a music library, and I sent them like 20. And they was like, okay. And I had to learn how to format my music, my instrumentals for television. There are certain requirements that I had to learn. And the licensing company was very open. They taught me a lot because I was like, they were like, hey, this is dope, but it needs to be this long. I need it in this format. And once I did that, I revised the tracks, resent them, and they put them in their pool and they started submitting. And I guess what they do is they actually may have a hard drive. They know a company is coming out and they have a relationship with the production company. And with that production company, they'll send them, say they may send them 1,000 tracks, right?
Okay.
Because they're gonna shoot 8 to 10 episodes of Black Ink Crew. So they're gonna start taking the production that's on this hard drive and start placing it in the appropriate places inside of their library, inside of the television shows for so many episodes.
And you got placements on Black Ink Crew, right?
Yeah.
And so is your name in the credits at the end when it be going on fast?
I don't know if I've never looked there, but I am on IMDb as a creator for Black Ink Crew.
Well, what other shows have you gotten stuff placed on?
I've done Black Ink Crew Chicago. I've done Housewives. I've done there's this show that MTV had that was called Bigger Thinking. I did the main intro for that, and that was a different check, so that was pretty cool. I've done stuff.
The check said MTV on it.
No, it's from the publishing company, whoever the publishing company.
I'd like to get a check that just said MTV in that upper left hand corner.
Yeah, I know, right? I would frame that motherfucker if I did. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I did a movie. I did 3 tracks for a movie that was overseas. I don't remember the name of the movie. The company just sent them over and they said, "Hey, you got these placements," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And we ended up doing a deal where they paid me up front for the 3 tracks for the usage. And then 2 cues for ESPN. The reality TV shows. I mean, I've got several placements in those. I mean, there's just so many to name. I mean, there's a Spanish show that I did with this he's a major Spanish star. He has his own reality TV show. I've done stuff for his show. So it's a lot.
My bad. You said when what gave you the idea was you noticed how many cues were in an episode. So like, let's say for instance, Black Ink Crew, how many cues have you gotten placed in like a half hour?
In one show, I may have had 4.
And so is that 4 separate royalty checks?
Yes.
Well, is that
if it's on the same show, it's gonna come on the same check.
But for 4 different
for 4 different cues, yes.
And that's in perpetuity as long like when it gets sold to streamers, do you still get those residuals and everything?
Yeah, I sure do.